At the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference, we're talking to Darren Collins, the CFO at Khiron Life Sciences. Darren, welcome to SmallCapPower.
Thank you so much for having us.
Can you give us an overview of the company? What's your line of business and your business strategy?
Absolutely. So Khiron is a company that was put together with a group of partners about 20 months ago or so. The thesis of the business at the time was that cannabis was going to become increasingly international. A lot of the capital and the interest of individuals in the space has been on Canada. And when we look outside Canada, there's much larger populations in the world, there's agricultural advantages, and very much unmet medical needs that are present within those markets. And the business model of Khiron has been very much predicated on meeting those patient needs and being as close as possible to the patients, to the doctors, to the associations that control those networks. So the business model of Khiron is really quite straightforward. It is to focus on the largest city centers, the largest indications and conditions that patients have, and address those with medical cannabis formulations that are well understood and studied.
And have you tied up your finances, your capital, any investments that you are going to chase?
So we've completed a listing onto the Toronto Venture Exchange. We did a capital raise there. We've been deploying that capital. We also have announced an M&A transaction recently for the acquisition of a clinic network within Colombia. Again, what that is representing is a base of patients that are essentially a captive audience to us. This is a neuropathic clinic. It has about 100,000 patients, and we're looking to displace what is the existing treatment for those patients, predominantly opioid-based medications, things of that nature, and start introducing medical cannabis into that. So, we've been very much executing on kind of the corporate finance M&A side of things, and we have a very strong team on that. Both here in Toronto and in Colombia as well. My business partners. Chris Naprawa, who will be here at the conference speaking later this afternoon. He was, Sprott Capital Partners, Dundee, head of sales at Macquarie Capital Markets. My background in corporate finance as well, both here in Toronto and in the UK. Alvaro Torres done, a lot of kind of corporate financing execution. So we're a very strong team in that respect, and have been executing well on that front.
How would you say Khiron Life Sciences is differentiated from other players in the market because there are so many?
I would say that there's differentiation on several points. One, the market in which we're addressing, we have a large number, well over 100 LPs here in Canada. So I'd say geographically we're different, given that we're an advanced company that is one of a handful of advanced companies within Latin America, as opposed to one of well over 100 here in Canada. That differentiates us. I would say the patient approach that we've taken, and that patient approach is one that has been taken throughout the pharmaceutical industry historically, and that is patient associations lead to doctors, lead to patients. And when you think about that practically, patients listen to their doctors, and doctors listen to their doctor associations. So by working with those groups, and we have 3 groups that we're working with very closely to do doctor engagement, leading through to patients, research, development, education is a core part of the model. That's really what differentiates us, and I think in fact, definitively, we can say that we're a leading company in Latin America on that basis.
And lastly, in the run-up to legalization and over the next 12 months, what are the company's priorities?
So we are very focused, again, going to be consistent on this one and building patient networks and, really bringing products to market that meet the needs of patients. We're also coming out with a wellness line here to broaden out the scope of our network for distribution. Those are, topical skincare products that will be distributed. We'll be rolling out that brand and launching it in October. So you can look forward to, completion of, cultivation, distribution of products, us looking at additional jurisdictions. Mexico is a jurisdiction that we've identified. We recently had the former president of Mexico, Senor Fox, join our board of directors. So, Mexico is a market that's 120 million people. We've identified within that market through Quintiles IMS, one of the leading pharmaceutical research companies in the world, that there's approximately 11 to 12 million potential patients that are suitable for treatment with medical cannabis within that market. So again, focused on the largest city centers for the primary conditions and utilizing products that are well known and understood to address those medical needs that have been unmet.
Okay, Darren Collins, thank you so much and wish you all the best for all the opportunities to come your way.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.